Welcome everybody to my 10th YouTube channel anniversary. Oh my god, 10 years. It's crazy that I started this channel all those years ago and now look where it's come today. All these creative videos that I have made. What a journey it has been, to say the least. I thought in today's anniversary video, I will give you guys 10 best videos throughout the year that I've done, as well as some facts and highlights that I thought I would share with you that I did within those years. And also milestones as well, because there was definitely a lot of those. So why don't we get started with our first year, 2011. 2011 started out to be the year of where it all began. Now, interesting fact about that, I actually had two YouTube channels before the original one. The first one I had was called Cool0969 and I started that one way back in 2009. Now, I do remember putting videos onto the channel where there were video clips on my old family's computer and I would edit them, play around with them using this software called Windows Movie Maker. The channel didn't do as successful as I hoped it to be, so I took that channel down and then eventually I made the second channel with a bunch of my friends. Matt actually including as one of the friends that did this second channel with me. So we would actually thought of ideas of maybe we would do vlogs at school or any other type of projects that we had in mind. Eventually the channel wasn't as successful again, so I had to take that one down and now you see the channel before you today. Also, my pop passed away, which is a very sad moment. I can't believe it's been a decade since his passing. But also the highlight was I got my Year 10 certificate. I was still in school at that time and got my very first laptop. Now, this very first laptop, I didn't exactly have editing software when I first got it, not until 2012 when I actually got Studio Platinum for it. I did have videos on it, but I never did anything or uploaded anything in that first year. But what I do remember, I actually started doing a bit of remixing where what I would do is I would get movie and I would put them together to make a really interesting song. So I did actually upload those on this channel, but then I got rid of them later as I didn't think in my head at the time that they would blend well when I was making them. So interesting highlighted facts there. Now, the video that I've picked for the best for 2011, this video wasn't recorded in 2011, it was actually from 2010, and this is why I have picked Moby Lift Me Up Granda 94 video cover. Now, I have remastered this video. I found it to be a really creative setting towards it. I remember getting my iPod Touch recording film parts around the house, and as well as I use other clips from past other videos and put them in together. So please enjoy a little preview of Moby Lift Me Up Granda 94 video cover 2010.
So strung out and cold. I'm feeling so old. Plain talking has ruined us now. You'll never know how. It's sweeter than doubt.
2012 was the year that I got to travel around the top part of Australia for 8 months. Now, I got to go see Queensland, Northern Territory and Western Australia. It was a really fun trip. From what I remember, we got to go see a lot of tropical locations as well as see the iconic Ayers Rock. This year was also the first time I did a friend collab with my friend Matt, and also first ever music video. So what we did was we got to go film this first music video around Matt's family's old house, showing different parts. I remember this was actually one of the bestest videos that we had ever done together on the channel, and very quite proud of ourselves to make such an achieving creative video at that time. I also got my first ever video camera too, which actually, funny story, I remember taking the video camera on my 18th birthday because at the time I turned 18 years old. We went to this place called Mingara, which is on the Central Coast. And I remembered, I think a few people were using it at the time. It was a really fun night actually, one of my bestest birthdays that I've ever had. I remember the next day I was still trying to figure out the camera and I was trying to retrieve the files. Let alone not that I realised that I was actually deleting 3/4 of the footage that was on there. So the good news is from that, there was about 3 video clips that I still got today on my hard drive, but oh my gosh, make sure to definitely check your settings on your camera before you do any more touching, because it might just delete some of the files on your camera. Oh no, so bad. Oh my goodness, what else happened in that year? Oh yes, it was my first ever Christmas video that I recorded with the camera as well. Unfortunately, I didn't upload until 8 years later, but I always had it on the hard drive and always wanted to upload them to YouTube at some point. It was really good to record that. My family were in it, my cousins were also. It's crazy to look back at that, all the fun times that we had, got to unwrap presents, the food. Oh my gosh, the list could go on and on. It was such a really good Christmas too, and I was so happy to be able to record that. The video that I've picked for 2012 is Life's Tale of My Memories, Welcome to the Channel. I felt like this perfectly represents the first upload towards the channel, as well as me getting all different video clips and photos from my laptop and put them all together into one, showing everyone about my life story. At that time, it really got to represent about me, and it also got to show what the channel was about to start off with. So that's actually why I have chosen this video, and I really hope you get to enjoy it. This is Life's Tale of My Memories. Welcome to the channel. Was actually the year of a lot of firsts for the channel. First vlog, first YouTube channel trailer, and first YouTube location video. I remember that we went to Cops Hill as our first YouTube location. It was really nice there. We used to go there after school through lunch actually, so it was quite a bit of a sneaky situation where we would go out, go and enjoy ourselves and then quickly come back in before the next class. Also, I remember in that year completing my Cert 3 Design Fundamental Certificate course. It was 6 months, and basically what it meant is that I was able to learn a lot more visual arts and design on the computer, which was actually taught me so much more how to actually design things in different aspects, which was pretty cool. I also remember installing Vine for the first time. Now, it was the biggest thing that everyone has used as a videoing platform as far as that goes. I remember making some really funny clips as well as music and location content, which was pretty good. I always enjoyed everything that I made on it, and it was really actually a fun app to play with. I can't believe that it's come a long way, that now it's actually completely stopped being used anymore. For what it was at the time, I had a lot of fun using it. From what I remember also, I did from 2013 was doing the piano covers with my friend Matt, and my goodness, bestest thing that I've ever done with him. I remember coming up thinking that, oh, we should definitely get your creativity out there, and so he agreed on to doing that with me. I remember we would actually set up his room and get the video camera with the tripod and getting a good place for him to play the piano. It feels like yesterday just looking at that and recording those piano covers, because they were absolutely amazing. so very proud of Matt, honestly, with that accomplishment for those first few times recording piano covers. He did such an amazing job with them. The best video that I reckon represents 2013 really, really well was We Get a Bit Crazy featuring Matt. This video was one of the best, hilarious, funniest things that I've ever created with Matt. I remembered it was in my old bedroom and we would get all different stuff from the room and make a funny sketch out of it. Even looking back at it, it was a very well put together comedy improv video. So please enjoy We Get a Bit Crazy featuring Matt.
Do you want some free ugla for $10.99?
Free Ugala for $10.99? Yes, that's, you do not get a discount though. Actually, for your behavior, you get, you lose $20.99 for your free Ugala. Free Ugala, no discount, no price.
Yep.
2014 was the year that I actually got to do my first ever radio interview, and I was absolutely mind blown at the opportunity that I was given. I met this person that I did the interview with back on Vine actually when I returned after saying previously that I had a break from it for a few months and then it came back. It was good that I came back because I got to actually meet this person who is a radioer. We chatted actually beforehand, we got to know each other a bit, and then he offered me to come onto his radio station. I was absolutely excited when I got the opportunity. I said yes to it. I was very unconfident though, very shy, but I think it did very well at the time, and I'm very proud of myself that I was able to achieve something as great as that. While also it was a successful bit for the radio interview, I actually did my first ever Q&A with my friend. I got to upgrade from the bedroom that I was in before to a much bigger room in the house. So I was able to do a lot more recording. I had like a futon lounge and sat down with the camera and got to talk there a lot more. I also did a end of the year video. That was a lot of fun to recap a lot of that year that happened and a lot of fun projects. And speaking of one of the fun projects that I do remember of 2014 was I got to do the third music video with my friend again. We got to make this video where it was about friendship, and we went to all these different locations, and the creativity of that video stood out so very well that it was also one of our best achieved music videos looking back at that moment. The video that I picked best represents for 2014 is Party 934 International Radio Calls Out My Name full interview. It was one of the best achievements that I've ever done throughout the channel, and I got to be able to actually compare a lot of the music from America in Australia, which I found pretty cool to do at the time. So I want to give the massive opportunity to thank Dylan for giving me that time on his show to record. So this is the full interview.
I love it. It's 7 o'clock on a Wednesday night here in Los Angeles, and it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon on a Thursday where you are.
Oh, yeah. It is.
No, it's exciting for me because you're like a future traveler. You're in Thursday already, and I'm still in Wednesday. I don't get it.
I know, and that's really, I can't believe America's still like a day behind us. It's crazy. We're in the future.
In more ways than you can imagine. Hey.
Well, we're at the year that actually wasn't too bad for me, 2015. And for this year, quite a bit of stuff happened for me. I actually just installed this app called Periscope for the first time, which was literally just me showing broadcasters around where I lived. It was a really good experience. I got to meet so many people on there. It was insane. Also within that year, I did this creative thing called button frames. Now, you're probably wondering what button frames is. It's literally where you paint a design on a frame and then you glue these buttons onto the frame itself. It's actually a really fun creative thing. I'm so glad I got really stuck into that at that moment. And I actually did a lot of broadcasting where I would show people how I would put the buttons on the frame, and people absolutely loved when I did that. So yeah, that was a really fun part about the year for myself, and I also just turned 21. Now, the greatest thing about that I turned 21 was I got to actually climb the Sydney Harbour Bridge for the first time. An experience that I will never forget. It was really fun, and I think I definitely recommend everyone doing it, unless if you're scared of heights and don't do it. But for the majority of people who are adventurous like myself, definitely go do this bridge climb. It is a lifetime moment that you're definitely going to remember forever. The video that I have selected for that year would have to be Granda 94 Answers Your Question. Now, the reason why I picked this video is it's actually a first time that I did a Q&A by myself, where I would actually ask people all through social media to give me their questions. The questions were really good. I had a lot of fun answering them to you guys who gave me them all those years ago. I was very, at the time, still trying to learn how to speak through a camera. So yeah, that's why I have picked this video. Enjoy watching.
Well, my strengths would definitely have to be that I'm very passionate, I'm a very nice guy and friendly and awesome and very calm and quiet. My weaknesses would definitely have to be I can at times be scared at stuff, or sometimes I can be very emotional at things if I can't process it very properly. Those are my strengths and weaknesses.
Well, that's the first part of the 10th YouTube channel anniversary. I'm really hoping you're enjoying it so far. Just going to go and have a little break, and then we'll be back shortly for part 2. See you guys then. Welcome back to the second part of the video. You have just watched Granda 94's BBC Countdown. We're back, and this time we're going to be finding the best videos from 2016 to 2021 and some highlights. Let's get started with 2016. 2016 was a very special moment for me in my life, as I got to meet my partner for the first time. We actually got to hang out and spend a lot of time together through that year. Very special occasion. As well as actually, speaking of special occasions, I actually thought, what better way, since I'm been broadcasting when I started in 2015, that it would actually be a really cool idea to start a series on YouTube. So I actually had these clips on a folder and thought to myself, okay, maybe I can put some of these stuff onto YouTube. So I started actually cutting them, editing them and uploading them, thinking that, okay, I can start a series with this. Also in that year, I actually got to go to Melbourne for the first time. Now, this was actually my first time going to Melbourne. I've heard about it for years, and it's actually a very nice artist city. I remember staying there for I think 3 days, got to really see different parts of Melbourne, and yeah, I think it's a really good place to definitely go check out, one of your places to go in Australia. The video I have selected for that year is visiting Davistown and Saratoga. Now these two locations are on the Central Coast, but a little bit more south from where I'm at. I remember broadcasting that specific location, and I remembered how it was so enjoyable to show everybody on Periscope what it was like to see this place. It's a beautiful lake, the location, there's a lot of boats there, and that is why I had to select this video as one of the best for 2016. So please enjoy. So there's a couple of boats just there, and we'll be walking down this way, so I can give you more of an idea of what's it like here. What I'm walking on feels so weird. Yeah, they are all still, aren't they? Very nice though. I mean, like, there's quite a lot of them here today. Be interesting to see how they get all their boats from out in the water. We are now moving on to 2017. Now, 2017, from what I remember, was actually the year of moving for me. I think I moved 2 to 3 times. It was quite a very crazy year, to say the least. Where, funny story, so my parents just built their house and we all moved in there, and I was only there for about 5 weeks. 5 weeks came, and then me and my partner decided that we would take the relationship to the next level and actually move into a small cabin. It was a very proud moment in my life where I got to finally move out of home, because I was a little bit worried, thinking that it was never going to happen to me. We did actually really well within the cabin. I think we were in there for about 4 months before we moved into an apartment. So we were in that apartment for literally for the rest of that year as well. The video I have actually selected for 2017 is a creative compilation that I did for a specific singer. Her name is Anya, and this is why I've done this video, which is called Anya Music Video Tribute. It's a very creative compilation mix that I'm very, very proud of achieving for it, and I think there was a lot of quirks to her music video. I think it took me some time to do, which is why I've selected this. So everybody, please enjoy Anya Music Video Tribute of 2017. 2018, what can I say about that year? We actually started doing our first dashcam uploads, which I remembered we were watching so many dashcam compilations on YouTube that we thought what would be a great way to start our own little dashcamming series for it. So we got ourselves a dashcam and we started doing clips and uploading them onto YouTube. Although it didn't exactly go as far as we hoped it to go. Also in that year, my partner uploaded his first video onto YouTube, which was the trip of our time to Melbourne in 2018. Speaking of that, we actually went to travel to 3 different locations that year as well, which again, we went to Melbourne for our second time. Carnival Spirit, that was a fun trip on the cruise boat, and lastly we went to Nelson's Bay. The video I have selected for 2018 is my first DIY themed tiger stripe button frame. Now this was one of the first uploads that I did of me doing button frames onto YouTube. As I mentioned before, I started doing the hobby way back in 2015 and I kept going. So that was the year also that I really got in depth with my creativity, adding more frames onto the YouTube channel. And that is why I have picked this video as the best for 2018. So please enjoy my first DIY themed tiger stripe button frame video. 2021 was actually the year of lots of travel. We actually got to go to Melbourne for our third time, and I actually did a series there as well, which was a really great aspect, showing you all what the trip was like there and seeing all the attractions that you can do when you go down to Melbourne. So that was a really good special occasion that I got to do. I also returned to vlogging, which I got to show everybody online what I've been doing and up to, and I also have a big achievement that I got to lose about 20 kilos in that year as well, which I'm very proud of my accomplishment when I did lose all those kilograms. We used also a GoPro for that year as well for the first time, and it actually got to show a lot of the shots around where we were going. One of them including the Sydney trip that I did for a day with my partner, and we showed all the different location attraction spots of Sydney, which was very nice. For that year also, we got to go to our very first overseas trip. Now, this is a milestone that I'm so, oh my gosh, where do I even begin? Very overwhelmed and excited to finally do, as I've never done an overseas trip before in my entire life. So we got to go to Fiji and then straight into America, which I got to film the whole thing from the beginning right to the end, and that was such a great feeling to record that moment in time where I can look back at that for lifelong times to come and be like, whoa, I can't believe I set foot into America, which is insane. Lastly, I actually got to do a pretty cool thing with my friend Matt. We started doing podcasting together, radio sessions over tea. Actually, Matt was the one who came up with the idea to begin with of we should react to teas each episode and do different topics, and I was definitely on board with that. So when you watch the series progress on our website, you can see all the reactions of teas we do in each episode, along with different topics as well. So I'm definitely excited to see where that's going to go in the future. For that year, picking a video per se that was recorded in that year. Now I know that I put the American series up in 2020, but we're going to classify those videos that were recorded in 2019. So this is why I have selected, it was a very hard choice, the recap of our LA and Disneyland trip. There's a reason behind it. It was our first time going there, and of course I had to add this in as it shows all of our week pretty much condensed down into one video, and it just came out so amazing with the music added into it. Now I couldn't use the original music because of copyright reasons, but I was able to find 3 songs that fit perfectly well into them, and this is why I've made this the best of 2019. So please enjoy the recap of our LA and Disneyland trip of 2019. Despite it being the worst year where a pandemic started, it was a really good year for me to make really good quality videos for you all. First, 3-friend video collab, family trip video, DIY kit, which actually that was a pretty funny video, and actually our first time for the channel as well, directing a music video with an extra person. We also got to bring back the Christmas series again, as I have not made one. The last one that we did was way back in 2012, so it was really good to bring back the family Christmas where we got to show a lot of the presents. People that you haven't seen in a long time to brought them back as well, and yeah, it was a really fun Christmas special that year to share with you all. Within 2020 we got to show you all a lot of travelling videos where I got to show a lot of different parts of the Central Coast. as well as Summersby Falls. That was a really good day that I remember, and I was so glad that I was able to show all the different parts. So if you're along somewhere in New South Wales, definitely Summersby Falls is the place to really go check out. Within that year also, we got to return the end of year series again, as I haven't really made that video since 2014. So it was nice to actually discuss and talk about what was our highlight of 2020 and the worst. Alongside of that, COVID came along and just completely changed the entire world. But overall, I was able to lift everyone's spirits within that year by making a lot of content to help people go through their days a lot better. The video choice for 2020 was really difficult. I had to really research to find what was going to be the best video that represented 2020 very well, and I finally found one, and it is Chiron Gates Capity. I have picked this video because it was actually a first time I got to show my family, which you have not ever seen before on the channel. And it was a really good place. As a kid, I would always go to Capity and I had always a blast. It's done really well as the video goes, and this is why I had to select this. Even the location, you can see all the places like trees, the different wildlife that's there, and you also get to stay in a cabin or a tent. So this is why I have selected Chiron Gates Capity for 2020 best video on the channel. Please enjoy. We have reached our final year, 2021. Now, it's only been 6 months of this year, but so far it's been pretty good. We had a few firsts for the channel. We actually got to use drone footage, which I was absolutely amazed at the Pacific video that we've done, that it was able to record and fly all over the different sectional parts of the video. We also got my partner to come in for the first time and help us behind the scenes, like film, or help us to do specific parts for the video that we were doing. We got to return a Q&A, as I haven't done a Q&A since 2015 on the channel, so it was really good to bring it back. And all of you guys out there for giving me questions, I can't thank you enough. It was a really fun day answering them. Again, we got to return to a location that we have not been to since 2013 and 14. It was unbelievably amazing to actually see the difference between then and now. And the channel got to reach 100 videos, which I can't believe, 100 videos that were completely made each year, and all of them have been such an adventure, a journey and a ride to say the least. I got to really see the in-depth of how far I've come in that aspect. The video that I got to pick for this, despite there only a few that was made for the first 6 months of this year, one stood out to me very well that represented 2021 so far, and it was the trip down memory lane featuring Matt video. I found this video to be really well thought into. We planned it well, and we got to go to show all the different locations than what they were before. Some of them actually changed a lot, like there was an overgrowth in Cobbs Hill. We got to see all the different aspects and landscapes. Looked a bit the same, but some parts were very much overgrown. Other two locations, we got to see a massive development happening, and the beach as well. A lot more rock formations that I've noticed that changed since the last time we were there filming. So this video was definitely a reason why I think it represented 2021 so far very perfectly. So please enjoy the last pick of 2021, Trip Down Memory Lane featuring Matt. Enjoy. Well, that was the 10th YouTube channel anniversary. I really hope you all enjoyed watching that. If you want to support me and my channel, I have just started out making a Patreon account, which I will leave in the description below. Oh, what can I say about a decade of videos that I've made? It has been an absolute roller coaster, to say the least. I can't believe how far I've come, and I'm very excited to see what the future's going to hold for me and this channel. I just want to say this: stay safe. Life is an unexpected journey. You never know what's going to go your way. Until there, guys, take care and thanks for watching.